If you are wondering what would compel Jillian Michaels to get on national TV and minimize the effects and the impacts of slavery in America by stating only 2% of Americans own slaves, a documentary just dropped on The Biggest Loser that exposed the abuse and mistreatment the contestants faced on that show at the hands of the trainers, one of those trainers being Jillian Michaels. 40% of Americans are obese. Naturally, people would watch this documentary and be reminded of all of the harmful and abusive claims Jillian Michaels has made over the years, as well as her horrible treatment of these contestants on this show. In order to get ahead of this backlash, which Jillian Michaels has only today responded to, despite the fact that the documentary has been out for a little over 2 weeks now, instead of her to respond to the documentary and the claims made on that show, to shield herself from any backlash against some of those 40% of Americans who are obese, who might come after her, who look like her, she is instead using the current climate in this country, the anti-Blackness that has always existed, but the polarization that is occurring in this country, as well as the continued efforts of this administration to minimize the impacts of slavery and create revisionist history to rewrite what has occurred in this country and the lingering effects of slavery that we still see to this day. I wish more people, instead of being reactionary, would question the timing of things. I don't think there's anything wrong with responding to what Jillian Michaels said because her claim was obviously harmful, but we also have to look at the timing of it and what she is very obviously trying to escape and deflect attention away from. Jillian Michaels is extremely fatphobic. However, people will be willing to overlook her fat phobia if her views, if her racism and anti-Blackness aligns with their racism and anti-Blackness. The people in her community will be able to overlook her fat phobia. And now that everybody is focused on her disingenuous and purposefully misleading claim that only 2% of Americans owned slaves to minimize the impact of slavery in this country, and everybody is talking about that, now she decides to comment on that documentary. But guess which one is the bigger headline?